What's going on, everybody? I'm Eating Things, and you're watching Less Than Rhetorical. And today we are going to do something a little different. I'm going to give you 5 common mistakes that I see people make all the time in Rainbow Six Siege. And I think that it'd just be good to go through them and give you some tips about how you can overcome them. The first common mistake that I see people make is over-droning. And so what I mean by over-droning is you take an area and you drone that area, and you could just push in knowing that it's clear. But instead, you continue to drone up, and you're checking this, and you're going up here, you're taking a look now over here, you're seeing if somebody's back here, and all of a sudden, the information that you had about the area that you droned initially is stale. Information in R6 is key. It takes about 5 seconds for information to go stale in the game. Somebody could run down this hallway and run into this break room, and if my drone is over here checking in office, as soon as I come in here, boom, I'm dead, because I probably didn't even have my gun up. I wasn't even looking for a fight. I was just running through this way because I thought all this was clear. And meanwhile, somebody, maybe they were over on East Stairs when I droned, and they snuck up over here, and they're just waiting for me to come in and just pop me in the head. So over-droning, that's something that I see a lot of people struggle with. I struggle with it at times. It's something that I just think that if you correct that one habit, drone the room you're going into, drone it thoroughly, and then enter it. Because if you over-drone and you're way out over here, and you're like, okay, well, oh no, I've over-droned. You want to do this right, you have to drone back to the area that you were going to come in at, and now you have to check this whole area again in order for you to enter, and that's wasted time. You just wasted 20 seconds off the clock, so just don't do it. So that's common mistake number 1. Common mistake number 2 that I see is pushing too far as an attacker. And what I mean by this is, let's say we gain site control. We're just going to pretend the site's up here for right now, okay? We could go downstairs and do this downstairs, that'd be fine, but we'll just pretend the site is up here. And let's say we breach this wall, and we now have site control, and the bomb chassis is, where is the bomb chassis on that? Over there, that's right, over there. So we're in here, all right? What I see all the time is we gain site control, people come into the map, and you could just right here plant the bomb, right here. You plant the diffuser. But instead, I see everyone in the world go like this. Okay, where are they? Where are they? Are they out here? Are they in here? Oh, and they're dead. And they're like, oh, he was in archives, he was in archives. And now you're down a man where you didn't have to be down a man. You could have just gained sight, held your angle right here, made sure that he doesn't come through archives, and your planter plants the bomb here. If you're like, well, my whole team's on the other side of the map, and I've got site control, great. Call out to your team. Tell them, hey, I have site control. Come over to me, have them enter through the breach that you just made, and plant the bomb over here where it's safe, because you have site control. There's no need to push and make this mistake where I push into this side of the site. Once you've got one part of the site control, just go ahead and use that and plant. Another main mistake that I see people make is called crosshair placement. So I'm just calling this crosshair placement for a second, but I think that maybe there's some more tips to this. This here is head height, right here, right just about here, okay? It's about 2/3 of the way up on a door frame, and that's about where head height is gonna be. So keep your crosshairs, if you know someone's crouched, aim crouch height. If you know someone's prone, aim prone. But if you don't know if they're crouched or prone, be aiming head height. It's a whole lot easier to flick down than it is to flick up. Although people do this all the time, they just let their recoil try to carry them up, but that's not gonna work in higher range. So you need to be at head height so you can just kill someone immediately. Now, I'm going to give you a free tip here. When you're quick peeking an area, let's say I quick peek here, and I see, oh wait, there's a guy here, which I wouldn't quick peek like that. I'd probably swing wide, like maybe checking my angles right here just to see where people are at. And let's say I see a guy that's sitting in this corner here and he sees me. Well, if you're this guy in this corner, what are you going to do next? Let's pretend this is reinforced. What are you going to do next? Well, I'm going to swing and start pre-firing and shooting because that's the nature of the game right now. It's swing or be swung. So if you're doing this and you're like, oh, there's a guy there, you've got two options. One, and this is what a lot of people do, this is a common mistake. People will put their crosshair here and they'll start pre-firing at where that guy was. But by then, because I saw you, I'm already out here pre-firing at you. So by the time you're firing, you're like, oh, I need to repeat this again. The enemy is here and you're dead. So put your crosshair where the enemy will be. If I peek and I'm like, oh, he's right there, I'm going to pre-fire right here because I know he's going to swing into me like this and he'll be dead. And you'll get a kill off of that easily. Don't make the mistake of aiming your crosshair here where he was, and don't make the mistake, whatever you do, don't do this. I see people do this too. They look and they say, oh, there's a guy there, and they run away. Like maybe they fired some bullets and they're like, oh, I missed him. I gotta reload. And they run away like this, okay? Because in that process, again, he's gonna do this and you're dead because he's just gonna shoot you in the back. So the correct response there is, don't peek again, don't run away, just pre-fire where he's gonna swing you from, and that's gonna get you the kill. All right, another tip. Tip number, what am I on? That was 3. This is 4. I can count. Tip number 4. This one's easy. Well, it's not as easy as it sounds. I mean, it sounds easy. Recognize man count. So let me explain what I mean by this. Recognize man count. This is mainly applicable for defenders, less so for attackers. It is applicable for attackers, but attackers have to worry more about time. If it's a 1v3 situation, as an attacker, I have to think about, okay, there are 3 of them. There's 1 of me. There's 45 seconds left. That means I have 15 seconds to kill the first guy, 15 seconds to kill the second guy, and 15 seconds to kill the third guy. If I'm like letting 20 seconds go by and I haven't got a kill, I need to be active. I need to be more active because I'm running out of time. So recognizing man count from an attacker standpoint is more about time. From a defender standpoint, recognize man count is important regardless of where you are in the clock during the round. If you are up a man as a defender, play quiet and play patient. If I'm up a man, I can afford, maybe I wouldn't want to pick that position, but I can afford to play patient. I can afford to sit here in sight and listen and just wait and hold angles. Because I'm up a man, I can take 3, we can come back to sight. You don't have to be roaming anymore. You only roam in order for you to get up a man or in order for you to waste time on the attacker side. I mean, to waste time for the attackers to be able to plan. As a defender, if you are up a man, be quiet. Time is your friend. So often I see defenders, when they're up a man, they're like, okay, we're up a man. It's a 3v1 situation. Where is he? Oh, he's on metal stairs. He's on the main stairs. Okay, let me go get him. And then suddenly you walk into this guy that's holding this angle up here on you, and you're dead. And you're calling out, oh, he's on metal. He's on metal stairs. Okay, well, we all knew that. We knew that, we had that information. You've got the exact same information now, and we're down a body. It's now 2 to 1. So don't do that. You can just hold the angles. Where's he going to come from? Well, he can come through this door. He can come through this door. He can go upstairs and drop one of these 2 hashes. He can go around the back, and drop these stairs. Or he could come through here. Like, you've only got so many places that he can go as an attacker. And if you just are patient and your team takes angles, then you're going to win the situation every time. It's much more likely that you will win as a defender if you recognize you're up a man and hold crossfires and play off of each other for refrags than if you try to push one at a time toward the attacker. That's just suicide. On the flip side, if you are down a man as a defender, or even as an attacker, doesn't really matter, either one. If you recognize the man count and you're down a man, all right, I can't hold angles anymore. I need to get aggressive. I need to get out here and I need to find my pick. And I need to even this man count. Because if you as a defender decide, oh, we're down a man, I'm just going to hold this angle right here. You know, I'm just going to hold this angle. All right, well, they come in and they're going to overwhelm the other side of the site and they're going to plant. And there's nothing you can do about it because you're just one person holding an angle and there's too many places for them to come in. You have to get active as a defender if you are down a man. And you have to get your frags. All right, tip number 5, and this is the final tip for the day. Not putting audio cues on common entry points. If you know Ash loves to run up these stairs and run into sight and start killing everybody before they have a chance to do anything about it, and you don't put barbed wire down here on these stairs. Now, I'm not talking about up here where Ash can slip in and be like, oh, well, I've already got control of the map. I'm gonna go ahead and start peeking people. That's useless barbed wire. If you don't put barbed wire down here, if you don't put a prox alarm over here, if you don't put like a Melusi Banshee up here or somewhere, you know, halfway down the stairs or something like that, that is a mistake. Use your utility. Use your utility to give yourself audio cues on common entry points. Banshees, Aruni gates, whatever it is. You know, of course, ban Brava if you're going to use Aruni gates and Banshees, but use your utility to give yourself information on common entry points. And so often, I don't see people, you know, break the glass on windows. I know there's no glass on this, but break the glass on windows so that they can hear the rappelling. It's just a mistake. If you know that this is a spot where attackers normally enter, give yourself audio cues. Make it so that you can hear where they're coming from in order for you to cover your entry points so that you know where the attackers are pushing from. So that's it. 5 key mistakes that I see people make in Rainbow Six Siege, ways in which you can get better, and you'll get a lot more frags if you just correct some of these. If you don't over drone, you're not going to die as much. If you don't push too far into the site, you're going to get more successful plants. If you keep your crosshair placed where it's supposed to be, you're going to get more kills. If you recognize man count in the round, during the round, you're going to be able to win more situations that you really shouldn't have won, but you turned it to your favor because you were aware of this. You had situational awareness of the man count, and if you put audio cues on common entry points, you are going to win way more rounds than you do today. I hope this helps you, and thanks very much for watching Less Than Rhetorical.